1905 was the first revolution in Russia in the 20th century. It started in St. Petersburg on 9th of January, 1905. There was a procession, very peaceful, of workers from a factory who were unbelievably poor. They were led by a priest, and they were told that the Tsar would see them and receive their petition in which they were asking him to improve their living conditions. So on that Sunday, the 9th of January, they marched through the city and arrived at the palace square. The Tsar was not even there. He was in his estate outside of the city. They were met by palace guard and they were massacred. It went down in history as Bloody Sunday. This provoked spontaneous outbursts in other cities in the country. They were all suppressed. And so that revolution was not successful. Shostakovich composed the symphony, as you say, in 1957, and that's only 1 year after the Hungarian uprising, which was equally suppressed. And for me, the symphony is really so much connected to the destiny of those people that had nothing. They just were asking the Tsar father, as they would call him, just to make their life more bearable than it was. And so the symphony is in 4 movements, but they are essentially uninterrupted. The first movement is followed by the second with practically almost no stop. And after that, the music continues all the way until the end. The first movement is this winter paralysis where it's so freezing cold, nothing moves. And we hear just the melodies of the folk songs that Shostakovich used in this symphony. And that's all that there is in that movement. It's all frozen. And the second movement is where the events begin to happen. It's very graphic. At first, it is this kind of a spontaneous demonstration. And then comes the second part of the movement, which is a very violent fugue, in a way depicting the assault on those people. The third movement is a requiem that Shostakovich somehow would always write. And the fourth movement is the Enigma, because in a way, its title is announcing the glorious future. And from the beginning, when he composed it, it was incredibly convenient for the government to proclaim this symphony at the end as announcing the glorious future. And what was that? Successful revolution of 1917, when Bolsheviks grabbed the power. And what is very interesting is that at the very end of the symphony, the orchestra is playing just one note and repeats it. But we hear the bells, and the bells are playing 3 notes. G, B flat, G, B natural. And they alternate. And the last thing that we hear is G, B flat, G. It's a minor interval. One associates it with sadness. So in the end, there is absolutely no victory of glorious future, but a tragedy. And that is the enigma of the piece.